bays. We'll go with that today instead of boys. Is that too cringy?
Definitely mixing it up.
There's definitely no episode 16 after this.
Is this the start?
Well, to be fair, it's like a bit of a surprise that this is happening this episode after last week.
Is this have we started?
Yeah, we'll go with this, yeah.
Right. Welcome to the show. It never
We're
went
underway.
Let's just pretend. Should we just go?
Yeah, we'll just go with it.
Okay, let's go with it.
You're the host.
I am, aren't I? So,
Yep.
Welcome to Don't Spoil the Ending, episode 15. Nick, as you were saying, it's quite surprised that we're all here this week.
Yeah.
Should we explain why?
I mean,
The tensions from last
there's a
week.
bit of tension, but like as we've all said, like we all have like had little differences every now and then. But it's bound to happen when we're doing this all the time. We're working together as well.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
I was a bit of a mood last week on the pod. Yeah.
Didn't come off on the show.
No, I don't think he did.
It's professional, isn't it? It's professionalism. He's got his scene, and then he finishes and he's like, fuck off the 80s all. Get off my podcast.
There's a bit where at the start we're like, oh, everyone's tired, and Nick says, oh, long week, and John just in a deadpan way goes, long night.
Yeah.
Like we're in for a show. So yeah, last week's show wasn't the best.
No, but we've maybe needed to do that last week's show to get it out of the way.
I don't know, the week before that was the show to get that out of the way.
I just thought to get the
Yeah,
weaknesses
but that-
out.
Go on
What are you
then.
thinking? It was like a blip or something?
Not a blip, but more like you get all your errors out so you can fix them. Right, like in one go, we may as well just get them all out of the way.
In one episode?
Yeah.
well,
In theory, that'd be good.
let's just jump in and introduce ourselves. I'm Joe.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jono.
And hi, I'm John.
This week, John Taylor, the character, is being played by John Taylor.
Yes.
Or the artist formerly known as John Taylor.
Yeah, so like last week, I did post a message to everyone and said, make sure you listen to this episode. I've spent a long time putting it together. I would like everyone to listen to it so we can all see where we fucked it up. Have we all done that? Have we all listened to the show yet?
Yep.
Yep.
John, you have? Nick?
I have, yeah.
Jono, get off the show. Get up. Go.
We fucked it all up. I just thought, it's alright.
Just going to stay away from it like that.
Just avoided it. I didn't want to be depressed, so I just thought.
Okay, you're off the show. We got no Sam this week. So, yeah, we'll have to fill in for that with the beers, I suppose.
And the drones,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah. All right, well, let's move on to our main discussion points, which are stuff we've done this week.
Yeah, before we got into films and stuff,
Yeah.
I've virtually done nothing this week, but just want to mention, learned some info, Jono, about you today, quite revealing information. On lunch, I was watching some slot machine videos on YouTube.
Which is weird in itself.
That was good. That was a recommendation by Lauren, that. Bit of a shout out.
Hang on.
Oh, to be fair, she wanted a shower. Didn't
Yeah.
she? What did she say? Lozabella.
It was Loza B, but...
Loza
Oh,
B
well.
needs to be at Gamblers Anonymous because...
To be fair, in the past 5 minutes, I think we've just given a full name out. Between me and John. She didn't want that, but...
Oh well.
Wait,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, go on. Well, you're watching slot machine videos.
Watching slot machine videos on YouTube, that was fun.
That's an interesting part of YouTube.
Yeah, that was good. So a few jackpots.
It was one way to spend your dinner. It was a bit weird, because at first you couldn't get the right ones. You wanted to see a physical slot machine instead of an electronic one. You wanted people pressing buttons.
Yeah, I
wheels
wanted
spinning.
actual physical.
Yeah, a proper video.
Yeah, but that was good. And during lunch, we got into a conversation of greatest fears or something. I don't remember how we got onto it.
I think it was due to this week's main event, the main
Oh,
film,
maybe,
and that's
maybe.
we were going about phobias.
Yeah, and you revealed, Jono, that one of your greatest fears was when you're getting a tyre pumped up at the garage.
I'm doing the tyre pumping. It's not like it's, you know what I mean?
And the fear of over pumping it and the tyre exploding in your face.
That's like that. It's the equivalent of when people say, "Oh, I've got an elastic band," and they're scared in case it flicks back and hits them in the
Yeah.
eye or something like that.
No, that's good.
I mean, it's lucky I wear glasses.
I love the fact that he said, "Oh, but I wear glasses, so that'll protect my eyes." Yeah, but wouldn't they just shatter in your eye?
Glass shattering in the eye.
No, I do, because I use this a little electric pump to do it, and because the nozzle's only really and the cord's only really short, you have to get really close to do it, and you're looking at the little gauge up to the right amount, and I'm just it's gonna explode in my face.
I've just got this image of you now pumping your tyre up, just terrified, it's gonna blow.
I swear I'm scared of stuff like that, just in case it's
Oh, I thought that was quite good.
Another one's where you're walking through, see, I've got my dog and I'm walking through bushes and stuff, and like a big branch will swing back and hit you in the face.
It's not a phobia.
That is good.
I am scared of that shit. It's a phobia if you're frightened of it.
Oh god.
It's an irrational fear.
That's
phobia.
quality, that, Jono.
I don't really know how we come back from that.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're on the subject of phobias, like,
Yeah.
does anyone else have any weird and wonderful ones?
I do actually. Have you heard of? I don't really know how to pronounce it, but trypophobia or trypophobia.
Is that the one where you're constantly scared that you're being watched by a duck?
No.
That is a phobia. But
No,
go on with
Well,
yours.
that's Nick's one, but
I'll get the definition up here.
What is it? What is it of though?
Let me
Yeah.
let me get to it. It's a proposed phobia, so it's not actually an official phobia. It's like this is more of a sort of millennial phobia. But it's the fear of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps. So this is just it's messed up.
Do you know, I've actually seen it. I've seen...
Like,
Yeah.
Nick, I'll show you a picture of it. I can't even look at it.
Why is it affecting you? I don't understand.
I
Just in
can't
picture
imagine
form.
it, to be honest.
Neither can I. What are you talking about?
Imagine, like, you've got a pile of, do you know, pipes? Like drain pipes.
Yeah.
And they're all just in a pile together. The proposed phobia is that you're scared of seeing that, like the ends of it, like all the whole together kind of thing.
I thought Joe was into pipe. I didn't know he didn't like it.
Like,
Oh, no, I didn't get that.
like the pictures we're seeing.
Let's just do something a bit irregular to the podcast. Coming around to look at my screen.
Okay.
Right, I
Back
don't
in a
know-
minute.
I
This is
don't
what
know
comes
why
up.
you've got a fear of this. I don't understand where this is actually coming from because you've said it's
I
not.
think the internet.
You've seen it on the internet and it's
That's a
scourge.
hand.
I can understand that.
That is awful.
Do you mean like the ends of fingers and the ends of toes, like?
Yeah, like
Like this?
irregular holes where it's not supposed to be. That John, don't tell me that's not messed up.
Oh, that is messed up. I mean, if I had feet like that, I would be terrified.
Can I have a look?
So-
Yeah,
Wait there.
I'll edit together some of this.
John, you are aware that you're talking and you're not being picked up by anything. So
Well, hang on, come back. You need to come look at the palm.
No.
Look at the palm.
No. Oh, what is that?
are we seeing that Jono has also got this phobia?
What, I've got
Yeah.
tingles.
You get tingles off it. It's awful.
Oh my
so,
God.
like, it's one of the worst things. So,
You see, I'm not
let's
really.
all go back to our mics. Go on.
I'm not really afraid of
It's,
the holes and
it's
pores.
sickening me.
I'd be more afraid of getting whatever that disease is and
Oh.
end up with a hand like that.
See, those that I don't know if a lot of them are just photoshops where like plants will have tiny seed holes and seed pods.
Yeah.
Where you take that and then you put them in something like a finger or something, and it just makes you just feel.
Yeah,
all,
it's creepy. It's like a little tingle.
Yeah.
I can't explain.
I'm getting a little tingle. It's not.
So
a
am
good
I.
type
Just
of tingle.
that's what spiders do to me.
Right.
And tyres exploding in your face.
and branches.
No, and if we're gonna go on this sellotape,
Oh, God, yeah.
sellotape.
Oh
See
god.
John in work, yeah.
Fucking massive fear of sellotape, haven't I?
Can this be proposed? Is that you've not got a phobia of sellotape?
Oh my god, the same shiver as what you've just shown me there, and I get from sellotape. You know what?
But
You've seen it.
It's not like if I held up a bit of roll of sellotape,
No,
you're
it's
not
not
going
like
to
that.
start squirming.
The more- all right, and-
it's like when someone's
Makes the
the
noise,
noise?
the
Makes the
noise,
noise.
and the texture of touching sellotape.
But
My-
I mean, I think that's fine. It's like nails down a chalkboard into,
My testicles will end up in my stomach when that noise comes. They do.
You look like
I am now after seeing Holy Hand.
you're all kind of like retreating back into your chair.
If you Google trypophobia, so I spelt it wrong the first time and did triceratopophobia, which obviously is not a real phobia.
I
But
can understand being scared of a triceratops. That
the little holes, John, don't like them. No,
No, that was weird.
yeah,
that makes me feel ill.
What's your phobia then, John?
sharks.
Is it a phobia though? Well, I think we spoke about this, and I don't think that. I think that's probably like the most healthiest phobia ever.
No, I'm not saying it's
Like,
not healthy.
if you're not scared of sharks, then there's something wrong with you.
Not that. His favourite film's Jaws.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
why.
really messed up.
Galeophobia. That's the fear of sharks.
That's what
Oh,
you've got
right.
then.
I've got me.
That's what you got,
But
John.
that's really weird that it's literally his all-time favourite film.
Yeah.
Jaws.
I mean, that's why it scares me. I like horror films.
You did say that you couldn't explain it. People were laughing at you when you said it's the shark coming out of the water, and they were saying, but it's really bad effects. But you're just scared of sharks, aren't you? So it's a
Yeah.
shark. So to you, it doesn't matter how bad the effect is; it's still a shark in the water.
Yep.
Well, we're talking phobias. This week's film is Arachnophobia. Like what they should have done was called Jaws, Galleophobia, and they should have made it some sort of trilogy.
So, has anyone
I'm trying to think of a third film.
has anyone heard of that phobia I spoke of earlier? Because it is a real phobia. The fear that you're constantly being watched by a duck. That is a phobia. Because I was googling it a while back, and it is an actual real phobia.
Anti-deophobia.
There you go.
What's that? The duck
That's
thing?
the fear of ducks.
Watching.
No, see, no, the one I
Sorry, yeah, that's the actual specific one where a person suffering from this condition feels that somewhere in the world, a duck or a goose is watching him or her, not attacking or touching, simply watching the individual.
That's really creepy
That's
because you
the-
can imagine just seeing the duck. Remember, like in Family Guy, where the monkey's in the cupboard and he just comes out and points.
Yeah.
The
See,
same.
That's what I mean. No, like when I was searching through these like mad phobias, like that was my favorite one. Somewhere out there, there's someone who is walking down like a high street or something, and they're terrified because they think a duck is watching them. I love that.
Imagine them. They can't go to a park in case there's a pond.
How about we just play a very, very quick game? I've got a phobia for you.
We've got to guess.
You're going to have to tell me what the phobia is of.
The words aren't even similar though. Like what it is to describe it. So it's shit.
Hang on.
If you could say it, we'd.
I think it's Arachnophobia.
Fear of bums on arachnids, like spider bums.
I was thinking, fear of spiders crawling in your bum.
Or being inside your skin, under your skin.
Arachnophobia. That's the fear of peanut butter.
Oh,
Oh, right.
I like the fact they give it such a obscure name for something that is peanut butter.
When does something go from being a dislike to a fear? Because I
I think-
dislike stuff, but I don't fear
I
it.
think it's when you're genuinely like terrified of it though. A phobia is
It's an irrational fear.
It's not even just a fear; it's an irrational fear, isn't it?
You can't explain it. You don't know why you get it. It just is. Like that stupid
Although-
handy thing. Then I've got like it's disgusting.
Although, like I was saying before, I don't think like there should be a name for a fear of sharks because that's not irrational in the
Yeah.
slightest.
It's like a fear of
Do you think anything
being
deadly?
shot or something.
Exactly.
Into,
Well, anything deadly should
It's like the most healthiest phobia in the
them
world.
crocodiles. Any
yeah,
sort of
I
big
don't
cats.
like crocodiles.
Is it water-based creatures that?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think we came to the conclusion, didn't we? It's more like the unknown that you're scared of.
Yeah.
Because like you're scared of being in the ocean and you don't know what's underneath you kind of thing.
That is actually genuinely a bit weird.
If you can think of like the worst thing possible that could happen to you, yours would be a garage with an overinflated tyre.
Yeah, and then someone sellotaped me to the tyre. That's the bumping it up.
Mine would be like literally stuck in the middle of the ocean, just floating, no land.
You
within
can't see
view,
any.
and just not knowing what's underneath you.
That is creepy, that, because I was thinking, like, when you're in the sea on holiday, you're still touching the floor, you're just fine.
I can't go too far out in the
moment,
ocean.
the moment you can't feel that
Yeah,
bottom.
I shit myself.
Yeah.
Jono, you suffer from elasticophobia, which is a fear of tyres.
I'm not just all tyres, just
Yeah.
overinflated tyres.
Unfortunately, that's too specific a fear, so we're going to have to just give you elasticophobia.
What are you going to do?
What about fear of sellotape? Is that one?
Hang on, let me look up search of phobia of branches.
It's not on branches, it's branches hitting me in the face.
Agoraphobia.
That
That's
sounds
being
cool.
outside. Agoraphobia is being outside.
I was kidding. Fear of... I've got a list of phobias. Hang on, let's see what's been defined.
I still can't get rid of the shiver out my body from them holes.
Lutrophobia. Anyone want to have a guess?
The fear of water. in your bum hole.
Lutrophobia.
Lutrophobia.
Lutra.
No idea.
The
Fear
fe-
of aeroplanes.
no,
Fear of feet.
it's the fear of otters.
Oh.
I'm just going to do one more and we'll move on. Geniophobia.
Fear of Levi's.
No idea.
What was it?
Geniophobia.
Fear of dwarfs.
Fear of your own genes.
I was thinking fear of incest.
It's
Yeah.
the fear of chins.
Oh.
You really need to name them close to it.
Yeah.
Let's do one last one, which is...
I hope it's like one that's like fear of fear of long words, and it's like a really long word.
Yeah.
A fear of phobias. There's a fear of phobias.
I hope there's like fear of long words.
I've got that for you.
Oh.
Did you know this?
No?
So the fear of long words is hippopotamonstrossequipedaliophobia.
That's amazing.
That's not even
So
the
it's
only
like
one. There's
Hip hop. Hippophobia.
megalogophobia,
Which
which is the same
big
fear.
trees.
okay.
Big trees.
And also sesquipedalophobia.
is fear of long words.
Yeah, all three of them are fear of
Do you know
long
what I
words.
love more than anything about this little segment? The fact that Joe can't say any of the words.
But like,
I was quite happy with my second and third ones there.
I'm not gonna-
Megalogophobia and sesquipedalophobia.
just sorry, John. Before you go, like, I just love the fact that like whoever thought that like is like, okay, so we need to name this phobia of long words. Let's name it something really long.
Some are over 20. It's like
I love that.
20 letters long.
But then also give it a shorter name, just not to take the piss kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I know I just said I'd do the last one, but this is the best one. I'm on a list of phobias. The Fopinia. Oh, Jesus. Hang on. Fopinasophobia. That's the fearophobia list.
Is that an official
You know what's
phobia?
really funny? How long it takes him to get out a word.
It's not an easy job, Jono.
Have you been a hip hop?
Just one last one. Not a funny one, but I mentioned to you guys before in work. It's called a zero stroke. And it's about people having a fear of too many zeros.
Yeah, you've told me about this.
And like it affected people in post-war countries because inflation risen so much that
Money was worth nothing, wasn't it?
just
So
really
you'd have-
weird. Like
You'd have like millions, but it was worth nothing.
terrified of too many zeros.
That's amazing.
Right, that's enough about phobias. 22 minutes into the show.
That's fine.
A phobia of long podcasts.
There must be a fear of long podcasts. Right, let's move on. In terms of what I've done this week, I've only really played Stardew Valley, and I've talked about that a lot on the show, so I'm going to skip that for now. I will tell you, it's coming to the end of autumn, and I've sold a lot of pumpkins. So
Sold a lot of pumpkins.
been a lucrative season for me this year.
That's the market for it, definitely.
I'm 24 hours into the game, and I'm not even finished. Not even onto my fourth season, which is winter. So you have to, make sure we're all good for that. But yeah, no, I'm still liking that. That's all I've really played this week.
I've not played that yet. I've still got it downloaded to play. But one of the game I did play this week, Micro Machines.
Oh, the new one.
The new one, yeah.
How is it?
It's good. It's literally the old PS1 game. Like, I'm sure some of the tracks are exactly the same as the old PS1 game.
Micro Machines V4 was that?
Was that what it was called? I think it was, actually.
I think it was that one.
It wasn't top-down like the Mega Drive ones. It was isometric. The camera was off a bit to the side.
Yeah.
And there's one track in it where you're on a billiards table and you have to drive into the pocket and you come out on the other side. I was like, I'm sure I've played this before.
Yeah, they're some of the best levels, them pool table ones. Yeah.
But it is good fun. There's virtually no single-player mode to it.
Really?
You can play offline races, but like there's no. I thought it'd be like a Grand Prix mode or something. Where you gotta go through all the tracks, but it doesn't appear to be yet. Anyway, it's all online, but it is actually fun. I enjoyed it the other night. Played it online, won a load of games. Still like the elimination mode where like the racer at the back of the screen gets bumped off until you get 2 left, kind of thing. Quite enjoyed it. It was good, and it's only £20 as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Before we move on any further, my only other thing I did this week, I think I've regained my passion for Formula One recently. So I'm waiting very patiently for the new F1 game because I don't want 2016 because it's like one team wins. But yeah, for 2017 I'm going to get that. I listened to one of our affiliate podcasts, Back of the Grid. So they're one of our sort of friend podcasts, and I'd recommend that. It was a good listen. But I feel like I've watched this week. I watched the 1998 Belgium Grand Prix at Spa. So that's one of the nerdiest things you can do. Go back and watch sporting events from.
Oh no, I love that.
Oh yeah, I've proper getting into it. I literally watched a race from 19 years ago, and I could give you like a lap by lap sort of analysis of the whole thing. It was great. Go, John.
Oh, sorry. I was telling John the other day, walking into work, I watched Argentina v Holland from the 1998 World Cup. It was an amazing game.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I'm sure Sam's literally constantly, at least once a year, he probably watches the Liverpool Champions League win from 2005.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure he's watching that.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on that.
No, but like that Grand Prix I watched from 1998, like there was 13 cars involved in a crash on like the second lap.
Wow.
Oh, no, sorry, not the second lap, second corner. They had to they red flagged this. They had to restart the race. Back in those days, you were allowed like a third car, like a test car, and you'd have two teammates who were involved in the crash, knowing that there was one car in the garage they could jump in. So you have teammates running back to the pits going, "No, I'm on the car. It's my car." And and that race ended up with Damon Hill winning it. With a Jordan's first.
Was it Jordan then?
He was at Jordan, and
Was Arrows before that?
It was Arrows in '97, and so he was at Williams in '96, Arrows in '97, and then Jordan in '98. But they had the first win and first 1-2.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking when you mentioned F1. I used to buy them all on the PS1 and PS2, but I don't know if it's still the same, but they had an issue back then where by the time they released the game, it was already out of date. Like, teams weren't updated on it and stuff like that. And I bought the 97 version thinking, oh yeah, going to race
F1 97?
I think it might have been 97 or 9, or the one after maybe. But it was whichever one, Damon Hill?
Damon Hill Racing, didn't he do that one? Didn't he do his own?
Is that his name though?
Damon Hill.
Blank then, like Damon Hill had just moved to Arrows in real life, bought the game thinking, oh, I can't wait to play. I don't know why, because that team was shit, weren't they? And he was still at Williams. I was like, oh, you're joking.
No, like I had F1 97, so I don't know which one you played.
It might have been the first one, then maybe the one before or something.
Yeah, F1 97 like is one of the games of my like sort of youth. I put that much time into that game because you could change all the names of the drivers, so you could put all your mates in the other cars and stuff. And like I F1 97 is one of it's probably in my top 10 most played games ever. Yeah, it's funny you bring that one up. Right?
I remember whichever one it was. I got the demo with PlayStation Magazine, and there was one track on it, and I played that one track to death before finally actually buying the game. Yeah.
That's I think the basis of my F1 knowledge is based on that game because I know all the tracks that were on that game. So like I even know the old Argentina track which I've not raced that in years, but I know the layout for that. And
because
like,
of that game?
Yeah, it's like because I drove around them that many times, I've got them all down in my head.
Would it have been Silverstone back then?
Yeah.
As the it must have been that one that was on the demo when I just played it a million times.
Yeah. But like that game gave me the ability to just draw the track. And it's like that's such a mad thing to be able to do. But yeah, so I'm waiting for the new F1 game, which is out in August.
Will you be getting a steering wheel for it?
See, when I was younger, this is the thing. Like, when I was younger, I never really wanted a steering wheel. But my dad basically was like, "Yeah, get a steering wheel, get a steering wheel." So I remember getting one, used it maybe twice. Was like, not interested.
Yeah, I used to love you playing with a steering wheel.
But this is it. Like, I stopped using it, and then a few years later, my dad was like, "Get it." Not a couple of years. It was probably about 7 or 8 years. He was like, "Get a steering wheel, get a steering wheel." So I got one. Tried it again. I was like, "That's it." So basically, I went through 2 steering wheels as a kid. My dad wanted a steering wheel for the game. And yeah, I mean, they were fine.
It's where they had the pedals as well. The pedals or even their specialist seats.
You didn't need them though, did you? Because they had like these little buttons on the top of the thing. I used to love that.
It's just
I've never been a big fan of Formula One, as you can probably guess. Like I used to love them games as a kid. Like until they got all complicated one year and it got weird. So I'd stop playing it.
Yeah, I kind of feel that with all sports games, to be honest, though. They've all got way too hardcore kind of thing. But with the wheel, I had a wheel for PS1. And it didn't come with a gear stick, it came with flaps behind the thing for gears.
Yeah.
And I was gutted at the time thinking, what a gear stick one. But when you get used to them, it's like, this is so much better.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. No, like, if I bought a wheel now, I'd be using it a lot more.
Yeah. I loved it back on the PS1. I played Destruction Derby 2. And a bunch with that wheel. Like.
Aren't they a lot more expensive these days?
But they are a lot better as well.
But I'm pretty sure they're getting at like £200, aren't they?
You can pay up to like 500, I think, like ones with force feedback and stuff. And
me and Sam were actually looking at this recently. Like, you can get almost like proper game simulation like hardware, but it's like 50 grand. It's like, with 50 grand, you buy a car.
Yeah, go drive outside.
Yeah.
No, but just wanted to say, like, I'd listened to Back of the Grid, which is a podcast that we're affiliated with, and enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and I feel like I've recently got my passion back for that sport because it's been more interesting this year. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the new game that'll be coming out in August.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, this week I've been watching Arnold Schwarzenegger films.
Ooh.
On Saturday.
Kindergarten Cop.
No, well,
not interested.
No, wait there.
Junior.
On Saturday.
Running Man.
I was left on my own.
Mr. Freeze. Sorry, Jono, go on.
I was left in on the house, on my own with my daughter. So I was thinking, what can we watch? And Eraser was coming on, so I was thinking, got to teach her early, haven't I? So we started watching Eraser, and I was thinking, oh, it's good. This she was like into all the colours and the action and stuff like that, and she's only like 8 months old, so I was like, oh, this is good. This, and then to follow that, Total Recall, I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing. This, she was well on that. That one knocked her out. I don't know what it was, so she'll have to finish that film off. But I was thinking, when she's got free time, when she's not out with her mates and that, she can finish off that film. But I was thinking she must like Arnie films because it's the action. Because a few weeks previous, we'd watched Thingy, Last Action Hero. She loved that as well. Don't know what it is about Arnold Schwarzenegger. It must be his daft voice.
Well,
Them muscles,
well into that.
Those muscles, like I when I was an 8-month-old child, I would have been like, I would have been blown away by them muscles.
Do you reckon it's every time he's like, hasta la vista, baby? And all the babies watching and going, that's for me, that
She's well into it, but yeah, I'm just thinking move on to the next one after she's finished that for like Total Recall. Move on to Terminator.
I mean, I loved Arnie films as a kid. Last Action Hero was amazing.
That's
Kindergarten
all right.
Cop.
Kindergarten Cop. I love
That's-
Kindergarten
Oh
Cop.
my god, it's quality.
I'm sorry, I'm surprised you've not seen that one. That's on almost every single weekend on ITV.
It is one of them ITV2 films that you always see on. It's either that or Junior.
Yeah, I've seen Junior, but when I started doing comedy, I thought I'm not really into this.
Do you not watch TV around Christmas?
I don't watch TV
Because it's literally on every week.
Yeah.
I think it's on like 4 times a week around Christmas.
I don't watch
on
TV at all
ITV,
anymore.
like-
Don't you think Arnie is to movies what Eminem is to music, where he'll have one serious song and then one comedy song? That's what Arnie kind of did. He did one serious film and then he'd have like the ones in between that weren't so serious.
Can I just bouncing off that point, can I just make, I don't know if this will come off as controversial, but I'd say Eminem's like a serious actor. No, not serious actor, but he's like, he's taken, what the fuck am I on about? Eminem. he's took seriously, like Eminem, the musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is not taken seriously as an actor. Because he's not.
As an action star, he is, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Are we
Well,
talking?
he was at least, anyway.
I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
are
in
we-
the...
Sorry, are we doing this like in the bubble of the action films? Because I can get these like the action film guys.
Yeah,
the
he is
Ultimate
him or
Sylvester.
Sylvester. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Arnie, I wouldn't consider him as an actor. I'd consider, like, I think we've spoke about this about other people. I'd consider him an entertainer. Like, he literally, he might be crap at what he does, but like, he's amazing at what he does, but like, he's an entertainer.
Yeah,
he's not an actor.
he can't act for shit, but the films he's in are so engrossing and they're really good.
That's what I mean. He entertains people. He doesn't act. He just entertains.
I'm sure
people.
we had this like discussion about people, and it's usually in action films, isn't it? The ones where the actors aren't the best, but they're such big names, like in households because of the films that they produce. Like we were talking about, like Jean-Claude Van Damme can't really act for shit, can he? But his films, like I
Done
watch
some
all
fun
the
action films. Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah. Under Siege is amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking I liked him in.
Who's the guy who did Machete?
Yeah. Oh God. The Mexican guy, Danny Trejo.
Yeah, like he probably falls under. Although I think he's actually been in some decent roles, hasn't he? He's quite.
Over the years, like he's done some good stuff. Like but he is usually the enforcer type kind of thing.
They end up in these like films, don't they? And they do. I'm assuming they gross well, like in the box office and things like that, and they get a lot of money in because of what they are.
I think it's just finding the right person for the right film. It's like
Imagine having a serious actor though doing the same role. It might not have the same effect.
that's what I mean. It's like Predator. You wouldn't get like Laurence Olivier to put to lead Predator, would you?
Shit,
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
it be daft? I know.
You need Arnie just to be the muscle bound.
Yeah,
goofball.
he's kind of got to be dim muscleheads, haven't they? Really,
Yeah.
but works for me. I'm a big fan anyway, so I'll.
You're a big fan of the dumb muscleheads.
What are you rating Razor and Total Recall?
Right, I think I prefer Total Recall more than Eraser.
Definitely.
I'd say Eraser is a light 3.5, and that's pretty much based on some of the parts in the film I'm not as keen on.
Yeah.
I don't like it all. There's bits where I think I can take it or leave it with, but Total Recall, I love it. I mean, like, I wasn't a big fan of the remake. Like, I think that kind of ruined what it did in the past.
Colin Farrell version.
And plus, because it's had that remake and it was so bad, it makes me appreciate the original more. So I'll give that one a 4 out of 5.
4, okay. Cool.
Cool.
Oh, sorry. Just one last thing. Was that the remake you watched or the original?
The original.
Sorry.
I watched the original. I'm just saying though, the original to me was a 3.5, but
Right.
after realising how bad the
Yeah,
remake
compared to
is,
that one.
it's bumped up to a 4 because I appreciate it now.
Cool.
All right. Go on.
Can I jump in with what I've done this week?
Of course you can.
Fantastic. Like with you, I've spoken about this a lot, like quite a few times. But I've been watching Game of Thrones, catching up.
Yes.
I'm right near the end of the last season now, so I'm practically there. Like I said, I won't go into that though. Just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah.
But like I've said it before, we're doing a spin-off podcast that'll be coming soon.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
I was talking to someone in work about Game of Thrones. They've never seen it before, and they've been watching. They're up to like season 5 now. But I was able to talk to someone about spoilers, Game of Thrones spoilers. When Ned Stark gets his head chopped off in episode 9. Talk to someone now who's not had that spoiled is great because they watched it and they were like, "Oh my god!"
I know, yeah.
And like I almost got to sort of not relive that because you don't get the same feeling of it, but. It was interesting having a conversation about that today, even though all that information's out there.
Yeah. But, that's really cool.
I got an opinion, like a 2017 opinion of Ned Stark and his head chopped off.
Tell me
and
this.
the Red Wedding as well.
I'm one of these people that's never seen any. How highly would you recommend that I did watch
10 out
it?
of 10. 10
Not,
out of 10.
No, I'm not saying giving me 10 out of 10, but would you strongly recommend that I
It'd
watch
be
it?
the highest recommendation for you to watch it.
I can't
Really?
I can't think of a higher recommendation for a TV.
It like we've spoke about like other shows like Spartacus. You said you watched Spartacus.
Yeah, I've
didn't you?
watched some, yeah.
Did you like Spartacus?
I actually did, yeah.
Then you'd probably
you know-
like I can almost guarantee you will love this.
Do you know what I love? I love like stuff where it's periodized. It's not modern. It's kind of
Then-
set in a certain time where it's
Yeah.
authentic to the time and stuff. And you're saying, I know it's not supposed to be, isn't it a bit of like not a normal place? Like,
Yeah,
Well,
it's set in England about 1,000 years ago.
oh no, I'm just saying though.
But no, it's not. It's a fantasy world.
Like that.
It's a fantasy world. But like it is a period drama kind of thing.
I'd say that like when you say fantasy setting, it turns people away from stuff like this. generally.
But it is though. Like it literally is a fantasy show.
I agree, but it annoys me that it would turn people away. That
How so?
if someone is fantasy, it's made
assume
up
it's-
fiction. Like obviously it's all fiction, but it's like people would go, "Oh yeah, Breaking Bad, it's amazing. It's like about meth and shit," and it's like Game of Thrones, and they'd be like, "Oh, what dragons and
But like
queens."
but like
And
like Breaking Bad's not fantasy in the slightest.
That's what I'm saying. Like so,
But-
that's why there's
But this one, like it's got like magic in it. It's got dragons in it. It's got all sorts of stuff like this in it.
Yeah, but back in those like you're saying it's set a long time ago. They kind of believed that shit was real anyway. Even if it wasn't, like even in the real time.
It's literally not set in this world though. It's a different world.
it's
altogether.
Mordor.
It's not set in Middle
but-
Earth.
It is literally like Lord of the Rings, like
Yeah, that's what I mean,
in terms of like whether you'll get on board with it or not. I think.
Well, this is a thing. I've spoke about this with John before. Like in certain scenes in the show, I've seen so many similarities between Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Like there's a battle at one point where like they're climbing up walls and stuff. I'm like, wow, it's fucking Helm's Deep. And like there's certain lines that people are saying, and like I just genuinely thought they were going to carry on that line with a quote from Lord of the Rings. And so it's very similar. It's got a lot of similarities.
Is this why you love it so much?
Well, no, it's in its own right, but like it
Just for background, like Nick's a super Lord of the Rings fan. Like
I
a
am.
Lord of the Rings super fan.
I am a super fan of
Like
Lord of the Rings.
the sleeve tattoo would suggest.
but it's Lord of the Rings, but it's Lord of the Rings extreme kind of thing. Like it's like Lord of the Rings. It's kind of powdered down a bit. You know what I mean? It
starts off a bit more of a real feeling to it. It's more about politics and houses jostling for power, but it makes a shift halfway through and just becomes a fantasy thing, doesn't it?
For me, I've said this. I've described it this way for so many people, and it genuinely feels like to me like an RPG. Like a role playing game. It feels like that, but a TV series of a role playing game. It's literally that. It's a role playing game turned into a TV series.
For me, it sounds very like I've played Game of Thrones. I've watched Game of Thrones and I've played Dragon Age. The Dragon Age games. Very similar. Like it's that feel,
Yeah.
like the sort of dark not reality, but like the dark sort of feel to those fantasy worlds. It's really good. Like it sounds like it's a highest recommendation, John.
Well, what I was thinking was, I've not got a problem with watching these programs. You know that thing you have where it's almost a case of getting round to starting something. I mean, once you've started it, even though however many series it may be, I'd probably binge watch it. It's just coming round to actually.
It's currently
starting it.
until 2 weeks time. 2 weeks time? No, a week's time. Just over a week's time. There's 60 episodes. So there's 6 seasons, 10 in each.
How many? Like an hour each.
Yeah. But
they're not even like the fake the fake hour where it's like 45 minutes with adverts. Like
breaks,
these they're like 55 minutes, aren't they? These shows.
Yeah.
Did you like Westworld, or did you not watch it?
I didn't watch it. That's the thing. If I start it, I'll probably end up loving something. It's just literally starting it, finding the time to start something.
Did you like True Detective? Did you watch that?
Yeah, the first season. The second one, after watching the first one, was a bit.
In terms of recommendations, I'd put Game of Thrones like top of the list. Like
See,
even like True Detective season 1, which is one of my favourite TV shows, I'd still put Game of Thrones probably above that.
I wouldn't personally, but it is still right up there, kind of thing.
I prefer True Detective season 1.
I might have to watch it just for the fact that sometimes you make jokes or you speak about something and I haven't got a fucking clue what you're on about.
It's definitely a highly recommended show. I would recommend it 1,000,000%.
Right, I'm going to give it a go and I'll let you know my progress.
I've got the Joffrey pop figure.
See, you say all these names and I'm just like...
I just want to say, by the way, you made a mistake just a second ago saying no, nothing like that. You accidentally said I played Game of Thrones. That's all it was.
Isn't it a game?
You accidentally said that, but I was also going to say you reminded me PlayStation at the moment, the Game of Thrones Telltale's game's free, isn't it?
Is that
Yeah.
It's a game?
Is that the free game?
That's the free game this
on
month.
PS4?
Yeah.
I bought that on PS3, never finished it. So this news is great news to me.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, boys. See you later.
There's another one as well. I can't remember.
There is 2 games I've already bought. Until Dawn.
Until Dawn as well, yeah.
Game of Thrones, so I'm a bit miffed about
There's
that.
some decent games out this month.
It always ends up being games you've bought.
Yeah.
We need to do some kind of playthrough of Until Dawn together because
Yeah.
it's a short game. We need to do that and put it up on YouTube.
I love
We're
Until
going
Dawn.
to make we're going to make our YouTube channel, aren't we? We're going to get that done.
Yeah. Have any of the 4 of us actually played Until Dawn? Like, not played it.
Oh, right, we've all played it.
Has everybody played it?
Yeah.
We'll have to get Sam on it then and get Sam to be the
get him
player.
to-
We'll all sit there and watch him play.
I'm fine with that.
I didn't know it was a free game, so I have to get that.
Yeah. I'm going to get it because I've only borrowed it off you and
We all borrowed it off John.
and so I wanted to get more of the trophies, but now I can just get it free, so I will do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Like I was only supposed to talk about that for a few seconds. That went on for longer than I expected. To be honest.
Got my eye on the timer.
Like the only other thing I was going to mention is last weekend, I think it was Crash Bandicoot came out. I played that.
The Insane Trilogy.
The Insane Trilogy. I played a bit of the second one. I mainly only played the first one though. Like takes you right down memory lane. And it was fantastic. Loved it. Like I've seen news stories popping up all over the place of people saying, like they don't like why is it so hard? I'm like, well, it's the same bloody game. It's the same difficulty. You're just shit in your old age.
Yeah, John.
Because you know when you're a kid, you're like proper on it. You're like dead agile. You're dead focused. And when you're older, you're like, I'm just tired with life.
I
can become really slow.
Well, as a kid, you're not drinking and stuff, are you?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. You're pissed out going, why did the one?
I think it's more like just games have shifted. Like back then, you had 3 lives to complete a game with, and occasionally you'd be able to save your game, kind of thing. Whereas now, there's no lives. You just play. If you die,
you die.
If
he dies, he dies.
That's the thing with this, actually. Crash Bandicoot. On the PlayStation version, you could only save when you got to bonus levels. Now you can save anywhere in the game whenever and just go back to that point.
Does that make it a bit shit though? Because it was almost like it was tense when you were.
I know what you mean.
Points. I like that little tension in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention Crash Bandicoot. Like that was fun. I had a lot of fun on the weekend playing that. Last thing I wanted to mention, I watched Mulholland Drive over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you've done a podcast about
Another
it.
plug.
Like we just released the podcast for that. Definitely go and check that out. Like it's a really good podcast.
Oh, he's dropping the plug in halfway through the show.
Yeah, just thought I'd drop that in there. But it's like the film itself is fantastic. Highly recommend watching it as well.
Yeah, if you're a Twin Peaks fan, go over and watch that one.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, it's a David Lynch work. So if you're a Twin Peaks fan, yeah, you'd love it.
Yeah, definitely. I've got one more film. Everybody else got anything to
Just
want
one more?
to?
Yeah, go on.
Just one more.
Just
one more thing. Have you heard this? Watched last Saturday. Watched Michael Bay's latest epic, Transformers: The Last Night.
The Dark Knight.
The way he introduced it was the most fun he had. Literally, wasn't it a shit film? There you go.
It's not a good film. It's definitely not a good film.
That's what we expect.
Did you have a drink before this one?
Nope.
I'm thinking
Totally sober.
Michael Bay films these days are visually spectacular and sort of got
all right,
no
John. Give
context
us
to
a
shit.
very quick review.
Yeah.
You're the only one who's seen it, aren't you?
Things I liked about it. Anthony Hopkins seems to be going mental in his old age. He's just like abusing people. There's one bit where he's trying to get a fat guy off a submarine. He's like, "Move your way, you fat ass, move your fat ass," or something like that. He's calling women like bitch and all this, and calling people dickheads and stuff. That was all quite funny. I like the effects, like Jono mentioned. Like it looks, technically it looks amazing. Like watching it in the IMAX.
Sorry, sorry, I was just going to say, did you watch it in the IMAX? Yeah.
Yeah, watching it in the IMAX, and the scale of the final battle. Even though what you're watching is boring as shit, it looks incredible. The scale of the action and stuff. I won't spoil anything, but basically it involves like a huge planet coming to Earth and how the Transformers have to get onto that planet. And it follows the action quite well. And it does look incredible, but you're just bored to tears watching it because it's just the usual Michael Bay Transformers stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good.
What about Mark Wahlberg? Is he good in it? Or?
He's just Mark Wahlberg, isn't he? He's just on autopilot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that's actually kind of interesting about the film. The plot is mental for this. I'm going to it's not a spoiler as such, but give a brief plot outline.
I'm not going to watch it, so.
Yeah, the Last Night thing relates to King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And it turns out now, in like a retconned Transformers history.
Are you about to tell me King Arthur was a Transformer?
No, but it was King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. How many were there? 12 or
Did
something?
they morph like the Power Rangers
No.
into one big Megazord?
The reason he was such a powerful king was he had 12 Transformer Knights helping him.
Oh,
No fucking way.
what were they transforming into? Like horses or what? Like,
No, they were people.
No, it's in the trailer. They transform into a 3-headed dragon.
Oh, come on. This is Power Rangers where they all morph into something like clipping them together. Jesus.
But yeah, that happened. And there's also a bit where you find out that in World War II, the Transformers were helping the Allies beat the Nazis, which is borderline offensive.
isn't it one of the early ones you find out the Transformers built the pyramids?
Yeah, part 2, that was. But
it is.
This is the thing, this film now, forget part 2, that never happened. This is actually what happened. They're completely dismissing their own continuity within the film series. But there's one bit where you find out that the Transformers were involved in World War II.
Of course they fucking were.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
And like Anthony Hopkins is saying, yeah, Bumblebee, you were there. You fought in World War II. And Bumblebee's like, did I? Even he's trying to like, don't bring me into this.
There's a cut to a shot of Bumblebee sat in like a concentration camp.
It cuts to a shot of Bumblebee
Concentration garage.
as a World War II Jeep pulling into a Nazi base and transforming them, killing all the Nazis.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not making this up.
Oh my god.
You've kind of sold me now.
But that's what I mean, like that is so mental. I'm like, that is actually kind of like weirdly interesting.
Was it like so shit it was entertaining?
Well, the first hour is all that stuff, the Knights of the Round Table, the World War II stuff. And at that point, you're like, this isn't actually the worst film ever. But then after that, it just becomes boring.
Right. I think it was the last Transformers film that it's not that bad, and then as soon as the spaceship stuff starts happening, it's like this just so mind-numbingly boring. Like,
Yeah. I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5.
that's a strong rating.
That's the thing.
I've not seen it, but
it's a mediocre rating.
Yeah.
Like a week or so ago, you said like I need to stop giving 2.5s because it's just straight down. Is this one of them where
this should be a lot? It's not a good film. It's literally a bad film. But
is this one of them where you're just giving it because you're unsure kind of thing?
Just based on my watch of it, I didn't completely feel like I wasted my time kind of thing. There were a couple of things that I thought, I quite enjoyed that. I'm pretty sure if I ever watch this again, I'll be like, yeah, it doesn't hold up on a rewatch. 1 star.
Fair enough.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
Have you got any final pieces we want to talk about before we move on?
I've not.
No, we're all set.
No,
All
cool.
set.
All right. Well, we'll cover Arachnophobia after this musical interlude. Ooh. That was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, wasn't it? Right. We're back. Arachnophobia. That's our film of the week.
It is indeed.
Yep.
It is.
Let's talk through it.
Right.
Take the reins, Jono.
I will do. I'll start off with this. It says, from what me understanding is, this was the first ever Disney Studios Hollywood Pictures that was ever released. Hollywood Pictures is like one of their little subcategories.
It's a label. They have Hollywood Pictures and Touchstone.
Yeah.
Old Disney.
It was only released in 1989, and this was literally in 1990 the first film that they sort of give
Created.
to the general public. So it's pretty good. That.
Should probably say that the synopsis of the film.
Oh.
That was my bad. A species of South American killer spider hitches a lift to the US in a coffin and starts to breed and kill. So that's the synopsis of the film.
Yeah,
A Venezuelan spider.
it is. The film, though, it was directed by someone called Frank Marshall. People might not know him, but he's apparently the president of Lucasfilm.
Yeah, he's married to Kathleen Kennedy.
He is, yeah.
Who's like in charge of all the Star Wars films and stuff. Yeah.
See, that's how big they started off. They're some big names.
One thing I noticed, produced by Steven Spielberg.
He is. He was one of the executive producers on it because he's done a lot of work with Frank Marshall over the years.
Yeah.
They kind of co-work on a lot of films, don't they? Together.
I think Frank Marshall was involved with the indie films and stuff.
Yeah.
But like Spielberg, Marshall, Lucas are all big pals, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's where it's come from. So it's come from like it's a pedigree film, isn't it? Like as in like got some good people working on it. I also found out that the music, which I thought was one of the better parts of how the film progressed, was done by a fella called Trevor Jones, who's like a South African composer. I didn't think I'd ever heard of him before, but he's done music for like Labyrinth and Last of the Mohicans. He's like a big name. Like he's one of the founding members for like, film music since like the 1970s.
Can I jump in there with a quick note on the music? Like, it doesn't really happen anymore in films, but I love the way that whenever John Goodman comes on screen, he's got his own little musical cue. It's like this, like... this little goofy music whenever he comes on.
That bit sort of just sold it to me because the film's like all about this sort of... It's kind of like a cloud hanging over this place, isn't it? It's a bit dreary, a bit scary. But then whenever he appears, it's always this like
this goofy
music, like. And it's
I love that we finally got John's like humming trumpets on the
because
show.
he does do that. Yeah. This film apparently cost something like $31 million to make, and only box office 53.2. I'm thinking it's because of the content of the film.
Yeah, it wasn't a massive smash.
Yeah, I think it turned people away. I think it's sort of grown popularity since it was released. Because back in 1990 it would have been VHS.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about cult films. This is probably like a bit of a cult film. Like it's got a bit of a.
Well, this is the first time I've watched this film. I know it's been out for 27 years now. My entire life, that is, and I've watched it for the first time this week. So. Yeah, it's a good film.
It's not all bad though, because I was thinking I've checked Rotten Tomatoes. They give this 91%.
It's a very positively rated film.
It is. People seem to take to it. If you've watched it, you take to it. If you're scared as you put away or put off by the spider, so the whole content, you just won't watch it at all. I don't think. So I think the people that were interested in it, I like the indie watchers, the people that make this. I reckon.
Yeah,
that's kind of why it's got such good ratings and why it's. I think it's aged pretty well. I've watched it a lot since it was released, and it doesn't get any worse for me. It's just a boss film. I just think as it goes on, I think it's a timeless one. I reckon we could go with that.
I can't really disagree. I remember the last time I watched this, I was probably like a child. I've not watched this in a long time. I was not expecting to enjoy it this time through because I don't remember it being that good when I was younger.
Oh, really, I've always loved it. I was like 12 or 13 when I first watched this. So.
Yeah, but we'll get on to that later on.
Yep.
You got some more facts for us, Jono?
Other facts: running time, hour and 50 minutes. It might seem long because it's just about one thing.
I didn't mind the running time.
Yeah, that's
all.
what I was going to say. It didn't seem too long. An hour and 50 is usually slightly over what you would say an average film is. But it didn't drag on.
I was fine with it.
It happened as it should have.
There were bits like during the end when I was thinking like, I'm liking the fact they're wrapping this up so quickly.
Yeah.
There's no big protracted end back scene or anything like that.
That's the point I was trying to make about the running time. Some films drag on too long. This one seemed to fit in perfectly with the time frame. They've worked it in well, and it kept the tension all the way through the film.
Yeah.
Which is what you kind of expected. So I like that. That was a good one as well. Yeah, we can move into the film now. All the facts are done, and now we can just see what people thought of the film and that.
Yeah, cool.
I reckon.
Kind of jump through a few scenes from the film, if that's
Yeah.
okay. It's quite early on in the film when they're in, was it Venezuela?
Yeah.
Did they say? I love all the location shooting. It looks like Jurassic Park or something when they're flying there.
Yeah.
I liked when they were like shooting there. You know the bit where he gets the spider and it's in a jar, and it sort of like moves very quickly.
Like jumps
Yeah.
at the front of the glass into his face.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But I mean, going off from like that scene, I love the bit where they're in the jungle, and they put down. You think at first what they're doing? They put down all these like pots around the tree.
Yeah.
And start gassing the tree. It's a bit of a Spielberg thing where you hear like just something, everything's falling out of the tree, and you hear like one almighty like boom in one of the pots off screen. And you're like, oh god, what is that? And you pan over and it's this giant spider kind of thing. But yeah, I quite like that scene. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah.
I thought that like all these things dropping. Is that how easy it is to catch all them bugs?
But he was killing them. That smoke, he said it was enough to kill them.
Yeah.
I know, because like the one dropped in it and it was dead, and he was like, and he was saying, yeah, like it's gonna die. Like it's like I want a live one, but like they'll all be dead, kind of thing. And obviously one of them wasn't. But
Yeah, I like the bit as well there where just before that scene when that Mr. Manley turns up to work with Julian Sands. It's like, oh, I've got a bit of a fever. It's like, be sick on your own time. quite a good quote.
I love how they always throw an English person in there as well. Julian Sands was English as well,
Yeah.
wasn't he? They always think the educated scholar make him English.
He was quite a popular actor at the time. He was in like Warlock.
Yeah.
He was in this, and he did a film called Boxing Helena with Audrey Horne from Twin Peaks, which was a bit controversial at the time. So he was quite popular for like 5 years, kind of thing. But going on from that to like a scene when the body gets brought back to like Middle America, whatever it was, wherever it's based, and the coroner. They've got this awful body in the coffin. The coroner's eating a sandwich. Like, they're so desensitized by his work.
Well,
He's
do you know
just
what I
eating
felt?
a sandwich. Like,
Well, what I felt from that coroner was that was his theme throughout the film, wasn't it?
yeah, eating food whenever they were like.
Whenever it was, he just seemed to be eating all the time. There's always that goofy sort of character who just seems to be oblivious to what's in front. He is a dead body, but to him it's just like day-to-day life. La-di-da.
I feel like everyone in that town was like that though. Like no one gave a crap about what they were doing. Like the
Yeah.
policeman was just like, oh yeah.
That policeman was like bordering on stupid. I'm sure he's the town idiot.
I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping he would die. I like
Oh,
the
the sheriff?
entire film.
I quite like Lloyd. I thought
I
it was
hated
quite funny.
him. I was just like, I really don't want you. I want you to like be bit.
Was the fact that they didn't respect them at all? Because you know near the start where there's the woman, like that old woman, and she's like, "Shut up, Lloyd," and she rips up the ticket, and he's just like, "Mrs. whatever her name was," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Why did you do that?" And he's like, "Proper like." You're just a complete goofball from like a small village.
Another quote I liked later on in the film when like they find a dead spider in a house and they're like, what killed it? That was probably the shock of seeing Lloyd. Thought that was quite good. But yeah, have you got any more notes or anything, Jono? Or...
Oh no, just if anyone hasn't seen Arachnophobia, it actually stars Jeff Daniels and John Goodman. Now Jeff Daniels is most known for Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah. Oh, do you think so?
Yeah.
I've got. I didn't think that.
But my notes is Dumb and Dumber. Nick said Dumb and Dumber.
I know him from Dumb and
No, but
Dumber, but-
what do you know him from? If I was to say Jeff Daniels,
Speed is probably the biggest one
Speed.
for me. Like,
I'd be going for Dumb and Dumber.
really?
Yeah,
it must
Like,
be
that's
a,
the one time he did a comedy role that like every other film he's done is like.
Do you reckon it's an era thing?
Not so much. I mean, I love Dumb and Dumber.
No, you
No,
do.
we're
but,
talking about eras of when the films we'd sort of
Like
concentrate.
for me, like Jeff Daniels is known for playing like the father figure kind of thing. Like he does it in this film,
Yeah.
does it in Speed. I've not seen the Newsroom yet, but I believe he's amazing in the Newsroom as well. But you know, if you want like a cool dad, like you get Jeff Daniels kind of thing to play him.
Well, we'll test this theory. If I was to say John Goodman, first program film that you'd think of with John Goodman, what would it be?
First program, I thought it was Roseanne, isn't it?
Roseanne.
Yeah.
That's mine as well.
Well, mine's Flintstones.
It's just when you think of someone, there's always an image in your head of what you always
For
know
me,
them as.
he's wearing that orange
Orange
polka dot top with a blue tie, like mixing cement in a pelican.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
It's just because when I was a kid, it was just Roseanne was on pretty much all the time, so that was what I always knew him as. But yeah,
Yeah, but some quite good casting in the film.
That's what I
those
thought,
main
yeah.
three are quite good. Just come back to a couple of quotes from the film. There's one bit like at a party early on where they throw a party for the whole town. And Jeff Daniels' wife asks one of the neighbours, asked the football coach, about the fact that, I think, because his son was the quarterback. Is that right?
he's the star quarterback for the Broncos, he says.
And Jeff Daniels' wife is like, oh, nepetism. And they're like, no, we're Baptists.
yeah.
That's quite good.
I loved it at that party as well because that old couple, can't remember what he does now, but like they're basically walking out with this plate of sandwiches.
He's that man that with the bodies. He's the food man.
Oh, is he him? But they're both walking out with these big plates of like sandwiches and cakes and stuff, and she comes down and goes, "Oh, would you like a doggy bag?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "No, you're all right, thanks."
We're good.
They're the family that live at the he's the mortician fella, but like we were saying about the food, every scene seems to be him eating or stealing food.
I mean, like I don't want to jump too far ahead, but that like when their last scene happened, they were eating food, weren't they?
I felt like his own demise.
One scene you mentioned before, Nick, about the coat hook.
Yeah, that coat hook, like that. This is the bit where I was screaming at the TV. Honestly, I was screaming at the TV because, like, he gets out of bed and he sees this this spider on the wall, and we've spoke about this before.
Yeah.
Like, it was blatantly a spider. It was a spider.
Yeah.
No matter what.
There's no two ways about it.
It was a spider. Yeah. But then, like, he gets up. But basically, he's getting up. He gets up. He gets a piece of paper. I'm like, and I'm there screaming at the TV, going, "What are you doing? don't hit it!" Because in my head, this spider was going to grab the paper and hit him back or something.
Yeah.
Or just pounce at him, something like that. I was like, "What are you doing? Don't hit it. At least get your wife up to deal with it."
I thought
and then obviously at the end of the scene, like he's looking at it, it's like, and it's a bloody coat hanger. I'm like, no,
it's not.
It wasn't a coat hanger. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, like on that, like I've never watched it in HD before this film. So it's been on DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and like watching it in HD now, it's like, no, it's literally a spider. You've cheated there.
But it's like the first thing I'd do is tap the person next to me to say, "Is that a spider?" You wouldn't be like getting up out of bed, creeping over.
That's the thing with me, like, because he's an arachnophobe. He's got
a crippling
fear of spiders because of a time when he was a child that a spider crawled up and he just froze, and that's apparently just gone through straight to his adulthood. But and like, she doesn't care about spiders, she's fine with them, kind of thing. So my first thought would be like, oh, let's get my wife to deal with it. Why is he not doing that? Why is he instantly thinking, I'm gonna get this and hit it? I'm gonna hit this because it looks massive, this spider. It doesn't look like your average spider.
It's like a hand. It's like the size of someone's hand.
I'm like, why are you going to hit this spider?
There's no way.
I've got a few more quotes if that's okay. Just a lot quotes out. I mean, I love John Goodman in this film. I think he's amazing in anything, to be honest. But, early on, when like he's working in the cellar, the wine cellar, and the wife mentions, it's his new wine cellar. It's like, oh, I collect beer cans myself. Got a rare 74 Miller Lite with a misprint on the label.
He tells us to come and check it out.
Yeah, he'll be interested in that.
In this.
Just on John Goodman. Plays a character called Delbert McClintock, which is the greatest name I've ever heard.
It's not the greatest name. I've got other names here out the same film. Bunny Beechwood is the kid that lives like round the corner.
Yeah.
Bunny Beechwood, who the fuck?
I've got to admit, though, Delbert McClintock, that is good.
So the video game Arachnophobia actually centres, like, the player assumes the role of Delbert McClintock, where he's a bug exterminator, like in the film. He has to travel to 8 different towns and get rid of the spiders. If you do actually succeed in finishing the game, the UN declares that spiders must become extinct.
The UN?
So you imagine you finish that game where you've just exterminated the spiders from 8 towns, and the UN literally come in and say, spiders must become extinct. And so they then travel to South America to exterminate all spiders.
Okay.
Do you know what I loved about one of his scenes where he's gone into a house looking for them, and he comes outside. He's like, "There's no spiders here." The coach's house where he's gone because his daughter had got one in the shower. It fell on her. And he comes outside, and there's one on like the wood sort of
decking,
like a decking bit, and he like fires it like a couple of times with his poison. It doesn't die, and he just walks over and crushes it. I love the bit where he then travels round to the doctor's house and he speaks to them and they go, "Oh, have you captured it?" And he's going, "Well, I might still have a bit on my shoe."
Yeah.
And he's like trying to, I'm just like, oh my God.
Talking of that scene on the when he goes outside the house, just a tidbit of information. Like I was reading, like apparently that took like a very long time to film that scene because they didn't want it to appear like they were actually killing a spider. So it took a long time to film. So that like, I mean, you don't actually see him crush it, do you? Because like
you see it
you kind of see his foot go up,
and
then and that's it. But
just
Also,
Sorry,
just
John.
one final bit on that scene as well. Like the best bit for me is after that is walking off. The dog starts barking at him. He's like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm bad."
Yeah.
I was going to say that talking of squashing the spiders, as a sort of sound design guy, that's what I like to do.
You like the crunch.
It's what they. I've got an interest in like how they would create sound effects. So if you take a bite out of an apple, it can sound like a bone crunching sound effect. The way they created the spider squish noises is they'd have mustard packets. So like if you've seen like The Simpsons where Bart's smashing open mustard,
Yeah, just with a hammer.
So it was like sounds using those mustard packets, and it was to do with like squash, like chips. So the sound that you would make stepping on a squash chip, they mic'd that up, and were like, this will sound like a spider squishing, and it does. Like,
That's so cool.
Yeah.
so it's
crazy.
Foley artists doing that. It's really interesting.
Yeah, you mentioned the apple thing there. Like in The Evil Dead, there was a big thing about how like one person gets a pencil through the ankle, and they literally put a pencil through an apple to get that sound effect. Kind of thing. Like,
It'd be pretty much the same texture, wouldn't it? You'd think similar noise.
It's great. Like obviously you're not going to step on a spider to get the noise of stepping on a spider, but if you step on like a chip, like a squash chip, that's the same
cool.
sound as like a spider would make.
Do you know what I was going to say about the names before? What we missed off as well? Dr. Death.
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Death is the
Yeah,
other
Jeff
name.
Daniels,
innit?
yeah.
All the kids are calling you Dr. Death at school. Fucking course they are. You keep dying. Everyone you check, they die.
Yeah, that's quite good. On the Delbert thing, just another daft little quote later on. They're in the middle of the action, and like the Julian Sands helper, it's like, "Have you got a map?"
Oh, that Chris Collins.
Is that Chris Collins? Yeah. It's like, "Have you got a map?" And he's like, "Yeah, why? Are you thinking of buying around here?"
I love that little bit though, where they're like, "Have you got the map?" Because they're marking off where the attacks have been. And he's like, "Oh, where's that? Is that the mortuary?" And he's like, "No, that's my house." And he's just like, "What the fuck?"
See, I love those scenes in the truck when they're like driving around, and like the guy that's like Jeff Daniels is talking to this guy, and he starts butting in with his information on this.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all like
he knows about spiders.
Yeah.
Like, I know about spiders.
It's like, oh right, you're like you won't find him in your barn kind of thing.
Yeah, he was saying like, you won't find him out there. It's too cold. It's like, I saw a web. It's like, well, a web would indicate an arachnoid presence. That was quite good. I enjoyed the football scene in it as well. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah.
Got to see a bit of college football,
Bit of action.
or high school football even.
Yeah.
American football.
Oh, American football. One little quote during that, the coach, one of the plays goes badly.
He does.
And it's like, that should have been a banana out. Looked like a banana split. Quite enjoyed that. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much done, to be honest.
The things I was liking are some of like you saying you like some of the noise aspects, some of the sounds, snippets. I like the visual effects, the way the camera was panned at the actual level of the spiders.
Yeah.
They almost like how they're creeping up on you and how... I don't know, it just give it a different perspective to normal films where you just assume you'd take the human's perspective and you'd see the spider on the floor. You wouldn't see it the opposite way around and how they move about. I kind of felt like that was kind of a good aspect to it that it added.
I think the film did a good job of like training the spiders.
On
Genuinely looked good.
kind of on that. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but like, do you know who made like the spiders in that, or at least helped? Jamie from MythBusters.
Yes, I did read this.
I thought that was quite interesting.
It was it was one of his first films he worked on, wasn't it? Yeah, no. So there's a couple of fake spiders, like the big ones, the obvious ones. But
every time it goes to its eyes.
Yeah, it's like they did the big ones, but they did use nearly 400 real spiders.
Did they actually?
So, yeah, they all like
all the little ones in the house were real.
They brought all the spiders like into a room and like gave them the lines for them to learn. The spiders would then read the lines, but they don't read with their eyes; they read braille.
Oh right.
So
okay.
the spiders learn their lines through braille, which is another interesting fact about this film.
You picked that up on the web, didn't you?
Just one thing on the fake spiders thing. During the shower scene.
Fake spider news.
What it's
Fake spider news.
dropping down.
CNN told me this. During the shower scene, the spider that jumps on the... I quite enjoyed this scene, actually, the naked girl. The spider that jumps on her with the... you can clearly see the string like dangling from the spider.
But with a spider, you can pretend it's a web.
I suppose.
There's one scene at the end when like they're in the basement.
Yeah.
It's coming down and like the spiders like coming down and it's not even weaving the web. I'm sat there going, Right, it's not weaving the web, and it's
being
just going down,
dropped.
so it's clearly just been dropped down.
But
this
like,
whole-
to sort of like finish off on the fake spider news, as we're gonna turn this, they actually used like hot and cold like temperature to direct spiders, and they use nearly 400 spiders from New Zealand, which are these big spiders, but they're
harmless.
They're a harmless like type of spider, but they're also a sociable type of spider as well. So they're much easier to control. And I just found it really interesting that they used nearly 400 real spiders.
But the majority of spiders and breeds will avoid humans because there's a fear that we might be fearful of spiders, which I fucking am. It's one of my biggest fears. But yet, for some reason, people always say they're more scared of you because they are. Because you're like thousands of times bigger than them. You can just stand on them. They shit themselves. That's why they freeze, and that's why you're on this like this standoff, aren't you, with the spider where you move.
Stop me there. I can imagine you just stood there and you see a spider. He's looking at you. You're looking at the spider.
And I am shitting myself.
It's like just a standoff.
It is. It's a pure standoff because they're thinking, where can I run quickly before it squashes me? Because that must be how it must seem to them. They need to survive, so they just do one, don't they? You see them run off, but I would put myself.
What would you do if a spider wheeled in like a tyre that's nearly ready to burst?
Well, that's what I was thinking. If I was sellotape to a nearly bursting tyre and then a spider crawled over me.
That'd be the
Like in a
worst.
forest with lots of like twisty branches.
You know the shower scene?
Wheel through a forest.
and the branches just keep hitting you in the face.
What if, Jono, what if like a tyre exploded in your face but the tyre was full of spiders?
You're going to laugh at me now, but you know that bit where John's talking about... You know the shower bit that John's talking about where there's two spiders, there's one in the shower and one in the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Same house. That film is the single reason I check the shower and the toilet before I go.
I imagine that when you're in the shower and like normal
I check.
No, I imagine when you're in the shower and like a spider. Well, I don't imagine you're in the shower, but like I imagine that when you're in the shower and like for normal people, like a spider would like come down. You'd be like, oh, it's a spider. For you, it's like a tiny tire coming in front of your face. It just explodes in your face.
Just about to explode. Ooh.
I've got to admit though, last night when I went to bed, I did do a quick check of my
There you
duvet
go.
and stuff. After watching this film, I was like,
John, I've done this for 20 odd years. This isn't just since last night.
For spiders or tires?
For spiders. No, seriously, for spiders, I check the toilet. I check everywhere. I don't just check in the toilet. I lift the seat up and then check around the back.
I've got this image now of just Jono pulling back his covers, and I'm just seeing the tire about to. I was like, oh!
It's like, well, what's the film where like they find like a horse's head in the bed?
The Godfather.
The Godfather in it. You might imagine John like getting in trouble with someone comes in. It's like tire,
and it's fully inflated.
it's too inflated.
or a branch that's just pulled back.
Pulls the blanket back and there's a branch. No. Right, move on.
Just one last thing on the film. I'm hoping you guys can like fill me in on this because I've never got this. I've watched it a million times, this film, but the bit where Julian Sands goes into the barn, I presume he's trying to catch a spider, but like he walks in, starts playing with the web. It just
done
jumps
that
on him and
before.
kills.
That's the thing, though. He actually says like,
Here's dinner time or whatever.
dinner's here, and then he just gets killed. I'm like, wait, so you went in to get eaten?
To get killed,
Well,
basically.
no, there was a
Like,
scene,
what
wasn't there? You know, when he first gets the phone call from the doctor, and he's feeding the spider that he's brought back from Venezuela. That's in the thing. He flicks the web, doesn't he, and feeds it. He must think, because he's had a few days with this bloody spider, that the other one's going to be exactly the same in the barn.
Oh, maybe. He doesn't realise how big it'll be, I suppose.
Yeah,
but...
he doesn't realise it's grown, but he's flicking the web thinking, look at this, I'll just feed it. It'll come out like normal. I know it's a bit overly aggressive, but I'll just pull my hand out. Fucking jumps on him.
Just never seemed like the best plan to me.
Oh, no. And he went in on his own as well. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It was crazy, but...
Cool. Have you got any final points on this, John?
Oh, yeah, the way... If we're going to go on this, the best bit for me was the nail gun that fires the flaming massive spider into the web, like the big pulsating sort of nest.
That is good. And
That is amazing.
on like the Foley sounds, the way that like squeals when it does it, it's like...
It's like...
Oh, fantastic impression, guys.
But right before that bit as well, on the Foley effects, I love the bit where the spider, like, he's trapped under like a wine rack.
The wine rack thing's
The thing's coming down towards him. He gets a bottle of like Chateau and just goes... Instead of it flying across the room.
But he's looking at the bottles, isn't he, going...
Yeah, not the Chateau.
Not the Chateau, but...
There's a bit in the scene in the basement which bugged me because he's throwing wine over this spider so that he can burn it. I'm sat there going, that's never going to burn. Wine doesn't burn.
No,
What are you
is not
doing?
flammable.
You've got to be a desperate man to be wasting wine.
Well, $127 wine as well.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he didn't do that one. That's the one he put to one side. He drank that right at the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
He kept
I mean,
it.
That was the Chateau
So,
one, I think.
wine is wine.
No,
you don't
he
spill
says
wine.
that,
but it was the fact that he was throwing it over it, so he could light it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, any kid with a brain knows that wine wouldn't ignite.
Yeah, any kid. Any kid knows you can't blow wine up.
Well, obviously.
They don't call them Levino cocktails, do they?
Exactly.
Drop me French in.
Oh my god.
Right. Final points, Jono?
On the film, I just thought, like, I'm still shivering now talking about it. That's how creepy the film was. I know you saying that you could see the strings and it's bad effects and whatever, but I just
That's not a bad thing, though.
get creeped out by it. I can't.
That's good that film had that effect on you.
It does. It's like Jaws with John. That's what he said. It's his favourite film, but it does creep him out.
Are you on about Galiophobia?
Yeah. Like Arachnophobia, but yeah, I've got arachnophobia. I literally have arachnophobia. That's what I've got.
Yeah.
I don't know why we seem to like the films that we most fear.
Well, I mean, I can tell you why I like Jaws.
No, we're not.
Steven
other than
Spielberg,
cinema,
like,
and again, Steven Spielberg in this.
produced.
Doesn't matter. He's still involved.
Yeah.
Still another Steven Spielberg film.
I've got to admit, I'm not comparing this to Jaws.
No, I'm
Jaws
not either. I'm not saying that Jaws is like an all-time classic
Yeah.
ever film, but I'm just saying that in the sense of his involvement and the fact that he uses people's fears.
Yeah.
So you're both saying that your favourite films are like the one because you're scared of the things, then.
No, I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm obviously a
I'm
big
just
fan
saying-
of Lord of the Rings because I'm terrified of elves.
I'm
but I'm not.
I was going to say my favourite film is Eternal Sunshine. Am I just like scared of being alone?
But like, the difference for me with that is the reason I'm scared of sharks is because of Jaws. You know what I mean? It's not. It's different for you. You're just scared of spiders.
No, but it didn't help. It sort of added to the fear.
No, do you know what I mean? Though the difference there, like that film is literally the reason I'm scared of sharks. Like it terrified me that much. It's such a good film.
Well, that's what I mean. I didn't realise how extensive the fear that I had of spiders as a kid. It wasn't that much until I seen this.
I do like the idea though that like everyone's favourite films are because of like what they're most fair, and I love the idea that Joe's favourite film is because he's just terrified of being alone.
Do you know why I think that is? Because filmmakers these days try and make films that either try scare you or try and give you. It's either jump scares or some sort of supposed fear of like ghosts or the paranormal or whatever. But these are genuine fears, aren't they? These are like
based on
things you can't fake. The real, aren't they? Like
That's it. I like being alone, but then
you like being miserable in the corner,
but if
I'm not miserable in the corner. I'm sat against the window.
away from everyone else.
I'm on the same couch as Nick.
I mean,
Cut his mic, turn it off.
I mean, I am definitely terrified of a Dark Lord creating a ring that turns the world into dark. That's my biggest fear.
Scared of wizards. Well, all right. We got any last points about the film, or should we do ratings?
I'm happy to rate it now.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm probably going to give this a 3 out of 5. I think it's a fair rating.
Yeah.
Should we go clockwise? I'll go next.
Yeah, why not? We've always done it clockwise. Why change it now?
Why not, eh? I'm actually going to rate it quite high. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 myself, yeah. I really enjoyed it. Like, first watching, and I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's my rating.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, I will go for a 4.5 out of 5.
Did you?
A 7 legs out of 8.
Oh.
Go in the,
Did you watch this with your girlfriend?
No.
Here's this getting a sentimental half.
No, I watched this on my own.
Okay.
But she did come in at some point and I had to tell her about it and she's never really got the film. She's not a big fan of it, but I was literally shivering all the way through the film. I feel like when you can get film that...
Did you turn the heating up?
No. Why would I be shivering?
Because it's cold.
Why would I turn the heating up then? No, I wouldn't. No, all I'm saying is because it actually...
It affected
when you're engrossed in a film, yeah, it kind of gives it a higher rating for me anyway.
Good, that's fair enough.
I'm borderline like Jono. I want to give it a 4.5, but I'll stick with a 4 for now. Probably go up on a rewatch kind of thing. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Great film.
I think they're all fair ratings.
Yeah.
What we
What's that?
averaging? 4.
Jono, maths expert, what does that average out?
That's a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 average. Sweet.
What did it give it?
4.
Oh, yeah.
Four,
Nice.
4.5, 3.5.
Yeah.
4. Yeah. I could have worked.
Is it not
with that.
3.75?
No, it's 4.
Right.
No, it's a 4.
It's a strong 4.
Yeah, like you can listen to our maths podcast that we release every Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've enjoyed the show, guys. It's been a good show. Do you want to give out the social media?
Yeah.
Jono, I'm looking back at you.
All right, a nice one. Right, if you want to get us on Twitter, it's at DST Podcast, and on Instagram, it's DST Podcast 4. And then personal one is Jono88 Jono.
I'm at Taylor 1980.
I'm at it's Joe. YEHITSJOE.
I'm at DST Nick.
Cool. Sam's at Rubik's Football, but I don't think he wants people to follow him after listening.
No, he doesn't.
So don't bother following Tom. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed the show. I think it's been a good
Ran
one.
quite smoothly as well.
We've learned our lessons.
Do we know what we're watching for next week? Or
No,
I'm just going to drop this in here. I reckon we should watch Hot Rod.
I'm
Just
editing
saying.
now. I'm editing this.
Hot Rod?
I'm genuinely saying I think we should watch
Which
Hot
one's
Rod.
Hot Rod? Is that the one with Charlie
yeah.
Sheen?
No, it's the one with the
Andy Samberg.
Lonely Island people.
Oh, that's a great one.
I genuinely want to watch this next week.
I would love to watch that.
Can we watch that for next week?
You said Hot Rod, and I was getting mixed up with Sex Drive.
I was getting mixed up with Hot Shots, but yeah, good.
Can we watch Hot Rod for next week?
Let's talk about it off the pod.
I know, but last week you dropped it in at the end, so
Oh, you're doing what I did last week.
Yeah, you're making you make the decision on the spot.
Hot Rod. Do we want to do Hot Rod next week?
Is it a comedy?
I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm not
I'll
a
do
massive
it.
fan of it, but I'll leave
Oh,
it to
right.
you.
I've
that-
not seen it, so
that's the
Yeah,
fun of
the
it.
appeal.
That's the appeal.
But I'm a
Is
big
it-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, so I like Andy Samberg, so...
is this the one where he becomes like a Justin Bieber type?
No, that's pop star.
It's where he becomes.
Yeah.
It's where he he's like a daredevil.
Oh, it's supposed to be like Evil Knievel, isn't it?
Evil Knievel kind of thing. Yeah.
All right, we'll probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to commit to that on the show because it's in audio format, and it may as well be played in court.
Just saying.
When we get taken to
just
court.
saying, I really want to do that, and
Okay.
I think we should do that.
You really-
you dropped Arachnophobia last week, so
That's the thing. Like Arachnophobia, I forgot to mention this. I opened my. Right, I know we're at the end of the show, but I'm just going to drop this in at the end. What brought me to Arachnophobia? It was like last week where I basically it was the afternoon. Yeah, that's important. And I went to the patio doors and I saw a few little specks in the corner, and I was like, "What the fuck's that?" And look, little tiny spiders. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, there seems to be spiders here. And then I saw this little spider ball next to me patio.
Whoa.
I was like, "What's this?" And then I actually looked around the corners near the patio, and I actually counted 50 tiny spiders.
Ugh.
Now you know what I'm like. I may as well be part of Peter at this point.
Yeah.
Peter. May as well be part of that. I had to hoover all them up and then empty them in the bin.
Well, that's not good, is it? That's not Peter.
Well, if they've not like they came back one night, the next night, and it was like 20 of them, and then they stopped coming back. But I was like, what? Like I got rid of the little spider ball.
You're making it too hospitable for them.
well,
Make it cold.
I'm a very
They don't
welcoming.
like the cold.
Jono, I'm a very welcoming guy.
You could have vaped them. They'd have fucked off.
Vaping spiders.
Yeah, they don't like the smoke. It kind of...
I thought you meant literally put them in me e-liquid.
No,
and,
like literally blow the smoke on them.
Grind them down.
well, the
The smoke.
same thing kind of happened to me really with Hot
You've been
Rod.
vaping spiders.
No, I
vaping
basically
Hot
seen
Rods.
loads of little evil Knievels, and I was like, oh, fucking.
Congregating around these
I tried hoovering up and and then I thought, oh, Hot Rod.
I've got the best image in my head of just those little evil Knievels in your back garden going, Erin.
on micro machines. It could be.
That's basically it. Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry to derail that at the very end. Goodbye. Yeah,
Thanks for listening,
good show, guys. Thanks for listening.
See you next week.
Goodbye from me, Nick.
Jono.
Say goodbye.
Oh, bye.
John.
Goodbye from you. It's goodbye from me.
John.
Cheers.
Let's start the show. What's your favourite Pokemon?
Squirrel.
This is the new one. This is the new show. Have I not told you this is the Pokemon show? No, right.
This is how it goes.
Do you know what I mean? I won't Squirtle anyway. That's fine.
The right answer is Charmander.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Right, it's Squirtle.
We'll come on.
Oh, Bulbasaur, guys.
I might just bring this up on the show.
John doesn't play it. So
I don't know any Pokemon.